Okay, I'm Hamid. This is Rowan.
Rowan, yep.
We wanted to make a video about our XC flight that we just had today. Since I've been flying, my idea of an XC flight was what happened today.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd be flying with a friend and we'd be thermaling together, and we'll go off, and then we don't know where we're going to end up, and we help each other up in thermals, and that's exactly what happened today.
Yeah.
It wasn't a long XC, but it was just so much fun, and it was exactly what I've been looking for.
And we helped each other out at different times. It was one would get low.
It was really good. Yeah. So I was a bit late getting to Towers. Rowan got there early, and he was checking out the conditions, and talked about it.
Yeah, well, it was pretty much straight from the north. It may have even had a bit of northwest in it. So Towers wasn't on for the first bit of the day. Wind strength was okay, probably 10 to 12 knots on average, but it was sort of pretty gusty, in terms of it wasn't steady breeze. And interestingly, Towers, the wind seemed like it was coming up, but once we went down to Mezzanine, we realised that it was really cross at Towers. So at that point, Wilhelm, who was with me this morning, he gave up and thought better of it. And Hamid and I went up to do a little bit of
Site cleanup. Yeah. So we cleaned up Towers for a bit, and it was quite hot. And when we finished, we looked around and we're like, it's on.
Quick, get the gear.
Yeah, we ran back to the car, got a gear. And Rowan's always really quick with his gear. It took me a while. And he waited for me to set up. I think that was key. We launched when we were both ready. And you picked a really good thermal to launch into. Rowan launched, and right off the bat, he's off. We were still a bit concerned about the wind.
Yeah, initially we were looking to maybe just penetrate and see what, without bar, what sort of penetration we were getting. And if necessary, we had a big landing paddock below. We were going to push out and get into some nice free ground if we needed to, but we didn't need to. So just
no, you picked a really good cycle. I watched you go up, and
sheer luck, really.
Yeah, it worked out really well. So I launched, I think, within a minute of you. And as soon as I launched, I went right after you because you were climbing, and it was a little bit rough, but not too bad. No. And just thermic.
Just thermic. There was the occasional nice call, which was lucky that we got. We actually got a nice call, I think, for our climb out. But a lot of the day seemed to be, bubbles that would if you it's trying to spit you out and a bit rough on the edges.
Yeah. So I saw you going up. I caught up to you. We started thermaling together. So we're gonna watch the Avery of the flight once we figured out how to. Spell the name of the website. AVY? Is it AYV? Is it AEVRI?
That takes us 10 minutes usually. Yep.
And I'm hitting play. So Rowan's launched, and you're thermaling.
Yeah, so off to the left, and then I could see you behind me climbing beautifully. It was a nice, fairly wide thermal.
That's what I loved. We were both thermaling together. The spirals are interlocked.
They are.
It's like a DNA spiral.
That's cool.
So there's not much thermal drift.
Yeah. We've got to the top of climb.
Woo!
I think that's when you suggested we head across, was it?
West. I said go along the plateau.
West.
Yeah.
And I haven't been that line before. It's the first time I've been that line. I've either been further south or over Mulaney's.
So I was a bit ahead of you at the time. And I was pushing bar, and I was a little bit higher. And I started getting lower and lower, and I think you were getting lower as well.
I was starting to look for landing options.
Yeah. I got pretty low, and then I looked back and I saw you climbing, so I headed back and almost didn't catch that thermal, but then finally I did. And you were climbing better than me, and I just stayed below, but we were still in the same thermal. And you could see the Glasshouse Mountains in the back.
It's beautiful, wasn't it?
You look up and you could see your glider. I can't see you that well when you're below me because you've got a camouflage glider. But looking
yours picks out of the landscape like that. I think it was about this point that I'd lost you. Well, it wasn't after that, but long after that, and I couldn't find you in the horizon.
So you've gone on glide. I'm still trying to get my height. And I was watching you, and as soon as I saw you turning, I put the speed bar on and I aimed right for you. And that's what I loved about this flight was once you
went straight through, cut right through underneath, straight into it.
Out of my way.
Beautiful.
But I would say this is the best part for me, where you can see the other person catching the hole, and then you don't have to worry about it. Just full speed bar, and you get right into it.
That's it.
We're leapfrogging each other. And, helping each other out.
And this is where it's most unfair. So he comes up to my altitude, then gets above me on my thermal.
I don't see your name on it.
And then I gave up on it. This is where we went. That's cool. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Flying across. But I knew I was in a little bit of strife at this point because I'd been pushed back over that forest a little bit. So I knew I had to punch pretty much fairly close to into the wind, and even with that I was away from the ridge line. So I knew I was sort of tracking to the valley, and I had a decision to make. Do I go even further into the wind and come up onto the ridge, or do I head across as there were some clouds building over at the next? And I thought maybe if I can catch something in between time, I get across to that.
And I think we were just getting about 1150 max.
Yeah.
So as soon as we get that, we know that's a max we're going to get, and we just go and glide after that. We don't waste too much time losing altitude. Once you know what the day is doing and how high you can expect to get, once you get there, there's no point waiting for more.
Yes.
What I liked about this glide was that we didn't just tail each other. We spread out a little bit, and so we gave ourselves a larger area to search for thermals. And I had the speed bar on, and I look up, and I can't. You've got an open harness. I can tell when you're not on speed bar, and you weren't. And I'm just speeding. I was below you, and I was speeding past.
I know.
Rowan flies BGD Punk. I've got a Maestro. So very similar wings.
So really, the big separation here now. This is where I'm getting low. You're climbing out.
And it looks like the wind picked up because there's quite a bit of drift there.
Heaps of drift.
But then we got together
pretty
again.
much together again.
I think this is where we thermal for a while.
This was before the final glide, so this was a bit earlier.
Yeah.
Especially unless it's a big boomer that's going to push up higher. Which
did you see that cloud exploding through the inversion, and you could see it going up, and that was really cool.
That was good.
Yeah, so this was.
So this was towards the end of my flight because I'd pushed back onto the flats, and I could see some trees rustling, so I beelined it, which was downwind to it. I think I was hitting it about 70 clicks at that point. Got a few bumps. But couldn't lock into anything significant. Yeah. That was my flight.
Rowan's got something.
It's 37 degrees on the ground. Watching your mate fly overhead.
I wasn't much higher.
As the sweat's dripping off your forehead as you're packing up your wing is...
it's not a nice feeling.
It's humiliating.
I was really hoping you would catch something there, but you were quite low.
Yes.
And I think it was just safe to just go and go and land.
Yes.
And I was a little bit higher, and I caught a thermal. Once I found that thermal, I got attacked by two wedgies. Ah, wedgie! Two of them! He was screeching and coming at me and bullying me for a while. Eventually they pushed me out of the thermal, and I was distracted. I lost it. It's diving! Hey! 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 Come on, get away from me! Pushing me out of the thermal. That was pretty much the end of the flight for me, because after that, just went downwind and the wind picked up. I think there was this big thermal ripping along, and I aimed for these
He's
small
got to
hills
blame
that I
someone.
saw.
He may as well blame the witches because they can't talk for themselves.
I found these little hills, headed for them, and sure enough, I did find some lift, but it was
Okay.
really rough, and I was just kind of, I would get some lift turning into it, and then it would just start pushing me back, so I had to come back into it, lose that altitude, so it's kind of a washing machine for a while.
It really picked up when we got down onto the flats.
Yeah. And so I just went from one hill to the other and just drifting along for a few kilometers and not getting much height, and there was thermals going off, but I think it was just too low, and they weren't consolidated thermals. And the ironic part was, as we got low, you could see we were getting farther west, and you could see the clouds coming in, and we were right at the edge of the queues. A queue popping right in front of me, and I'm looking up, and I'm seeing this
And
really
they're coming.
nice,
They were coming towards us.
Yeah, and I think if we had that one last climb,
Just the one last climb.
yeah, and there was a massive cloud streak going all the way to Kilcoy. But it was still really fun because we were flying together and just
helping each other
together,
out and flying together.
Yeah, so I think we should do more of that, and we'll hopefully have better conditions.
Yeah, I think the wings are very similar in the way that they perform both speed. Maybe the your Pi has a little bit more speed,
But yours is more fun on the coast.
Well, maybe
because it dives more, and
maybe mine climbs a bit. Maybe thermals slightly better. So, but very similar speeds, very similar performance, which is great. Great to have wings.
I saw you catching some collapses today too. I saw from the top when you had the right tip collapse.
Yeah.
And I had a collapse on very close to the ground actually. Whoa! Well, that was very low. Well, that was very low. Come on, Cal, I need to do a spot landing. Whoa! I think that cow almost did a spot landing on me. But thankfully these wings, they pop out. I didn't really do much. I looked up and it's popping out, and I heard this bang, and there were these cows. I tried to aim for a cow, and it ran off. I was trying for a spot landing, and then as soon as it landed, this other cow ran past. It was pretty funny. And then I was.
They should call these wings like weekender wings for tryhards. Or something, you know.
That's pretty good description, because if you're not flying more than a weekend at our level, about 200 to 300 hours, you don't want anything spicier than that, because we don't have the skills to catch the wing if it's doing something nasty. They just kind of, I do get collapses, but it just comes out on its own.
Flying, so we're probably catching ones that don't happen then.
Yeah, I do catch a lot of surges, and
it was quite surgy today too.
Yeah, it was just, I guess the thermals were strong.
Thermal, you sort of pop up into something, and then it would want to pitch down, and playing a little bit with the bar, but not as much as previous times.
You had a really good retrieve as well. You got all the way back to the car.
Yeah, I had
almost
put the thumb out, and within would have been 1 minute, some lovely man had just decided to take pity on the 37-degree day.
Did you take your shirt off to entice him in? I tried. I took mine off, didn't work.
Okay.
Maybe I need to share
0-1 on that. So that was good. Right back pretty much to the car.
Yeah, and then you came and picked me up and
picked him up.
got a nice drink. Yeah. That was awesome, dude.
Good.
About as good as it gets when you're flying with your best mate.
That was awesome.
Woo!
All worked out.
Okay, so this was a test. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
If people enjoy it, we'll make more.
Mm.
What do you think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Cool.